Welcome to 24/7 Flat Earth Discord channel. Be sure to go to VC Check and 1 to get your VC verification tags to get involved in the conversation about our Earth. Be sure to bring your verifiable Earth curvature evidence, though.
Enemy spotted.
JCMS.
Oh, okay. So, I know I have the globe Earth role, but I wonder today, I looked at Google Earth, like the actual Google Earth, not Google Maps, and I wondered why there are no people on that. Like, everywhere you go, even like big cities and stuff, there are no people. So, like, isn't it like captured, like by satellites and stuff? I don't know. I would have expected to see some people or something.
Sorry, what are you actually asking? I didn't get that part.
Well, it's not really a question. It's more like a observation, I guess. And I just wanted to share it, or maybe I don't know. Like I'm
What did you
pretty
observe?
sure. Well, on Google Earth, right, you can like scroll in and see a 3D view of the Earth, supposedly, I guess. And if you go to Berlin or I don't know, in New York and stuff, you see no people anywhere. Like it's empty, all of it.
I haven't thought about that. I guess I didn't look that deep enough, I guess. But what makes you think? Is there anything about it you think, or what?
Well,
That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I know I'm not the guy to say because I'm on the other side, but it's kind of weird that they supposedly took captures like via satellites or something, and we see no humans anywhere on the entire Google Earth thing.
Yeah, that's an interesting observation, I guess. Yeah. I'm not sure what to say about it though.
Okay.
You think there is some kind of conspiracy theories going on, or?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a conspiracy. I would just say it's well, it doesn't align with it being data from the real Earth, I guess, because you pretty much have no time where no humans are anywhere, especially in big cities. So there's like a discrepancy. I don't know. There's like a difference.
So which part of the globe's model or globe per se made you believe in it, I guess, or stick to that side?
I mean, just school,
School. I mean, we all
School
been
mainly.
through school and indoctrination of it as well, I guess, if you will. You don't think we once were globers as well, or?
I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
I mean,
How would
we
I know?
also believed in the globe, but we didn't look into it further than that.
Okay.
You know, because everybody believed in it. So why would you at that time?
Makes sense.
So, yeah, it makes sense. But, believing doesn't take any effort as well. So it's just, go with it. Why not?
True.
As the society does nowadays. So, but yeah, once we looked into it, I guess. So actually no evidence curvature to begin with. So many other holes as well. That doesn't fill up flow model completely. Lacks of it, I guess. And also it depends how invested you are in the globe. So if it's part of your hobby or interest, then it's going to be harder through it, through the local evidence. But how long have you been like around in the arena between these two sites, basically, flat and globe?
You mean, I mean, this is like the only server I'm in related to this topic. You can probably see my date when I joined.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you haven't been to any other like globe flat Earth servers?
Actually, I've been to one before. I just remember, but it was some weird server now. It was scuffed.
Yeah, some other servers are letting loose people just doing whatever they feel like doing. I guess there's no standard to be upheld. As I mean, here in this server, we ask for empirical evidence that can be repeated and verified and tested by
That makes
people,
sense.
all that. So it's only fair to ask for anyone who comes up with a claim to provide evidence. So, and then you can
True.
have a discussion and whatever about it.
Yeah.
See which.
I mean, I talked with the Batman guy before, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A cool guy, yeah. And Ozzy as well, I think.
Who?
But you don't find it interesting that there's a like lack of the most fundamental requirement for a sphere is a it's curvature, basically. So you don't find the lack of it kind of disturbing or interesting in a way to you?
Well, I saw like lots of stuff in the server, right? Like theories, or well, all of you are like getting mad when I call it a theory sometimes, but I'm gonna call it a theory. Theories that would prove that the Earth is flat, right? But if I can't find curvature on the Earth, let's say, I also can't find an edge on the Earth, And if something is flat, it needs to have an edge.
Retarded. That's just retarded.
That's silly.
That's kind of rude. Okay.
That's no, it's silly. It's ridiculous. Where's the edge of the universe at? Because all right, hear me out. The edge of the universe and the edge of the Earth in your mind would basically be the same thing. So jumping off the edge of the universe, jumping off the edge of the Earth, it's the same thing.
No, sir. No, sir. The universe is a. Okay, this is gonna sound a bit stupid because it's not entirely true, but the universe is a three-dimensional volume.
A cartoon.
We're inside.
It's a cartoon and a religion.
That's
what it is.
Maybe talk? Okay.
No, you're here in our house, and I'm trying to explain to you something.
What?
Yeah, okay, you have a religion, and you worship basically this hierarchy of cartoon balls and dead men's bones.
Okay. Anyways,
yeah, but go ahead. You can keep telling us about your lore if you'd like.
As I was saying, I don't believe in either model anymore, really, because I've seen stuff that disproves the globe, but as I said, in my view, a flat thing needs an edge. So, and I also can't see that, so I don't really, that's my whole thing right now.
So if I can intertwine, so the person who believes that they live on a spinning space ball in the vacuum of outer space in an ever-expanding universe is among us. Is that correct? JCMS?
I just said I don't really believe in either model anymore, but I guess, I mean, I still have to roll again on the Discord, yes.
What you say about finding an edge, is it possible that no one can find an edge because we are enclosed within a system that might have been created by a creator? Have you ever considered the possibility that
that's a religion?
Have you ever considered that you were born special and that you have a special purpose in this life, or do you think you're just a speck that's just passing through?
I think I'm an amazing person that is going to do amazing things along my life. Yes.
Well, I was going to ask, what can you define edge?
Also,
what do you mean by edge? What do you mean by edge?
well, I would set an image or something, but if you take a piece of paper, right? We can agree that you can lay a piece of paper on the table and it's flat, the piece of paper, right? And the piece of paper is also not infinite, right? And Earth is also not infinite as far as we know. So, unless you want to say it's infinite, but I don't know. So it needs an edge somewhere.
An end. Like, I'm just trying to...
Sure, an end.
trying
Yeah,
to-
an end.
Right,
Sure.
an end, right? A limitation.
Well, I mean, it I don't know if it's
Not like a
important
ledge,
to
not like a
differentiate.
cliff edge. No, not like a cliff edge, not like a ledge.
Well, what else would it be then?
An
Is
end,
it
a
like-
limitation.
Yeah,
A
but
limitation.
okay, but limitations are what? Like, if it's not a cliff, let's say, what else can it be?
Okay, where's the edge of the inside of a snow globe?
There is none. On the
Right.
inside, but on the outside,
Thank
if
you. Thank
on the
you.
outside, if you go
Point-
enough to the
point
bottom,
made.
there is an edge.
We're not outside.
Okay, so we are living inside the Earth now.
We are in a
Strong.
contained system.
Straw man, when you say we're living inside the earth, I wish you wouldn't straw man our position. It's not a good look for you.
Sir.
I wish you wouldn't.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Straw man our position.
Is that infighting?
I'm sorry.
now?
I'm sorry. Someone just said that we are not living on the outside. Someone said that, right? I maybe I assumed too much there and said, "Are we on the inside?" I'm sorry. You are free to correct me. If we are not on the outside, where are we? Like on the
Earth isn't floating in space where you think you're going to find an edge to fall off of. So wrap that around your head a little bit.
JC,
Yeah.
we appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you coming in. Can you give me your opinion or your analysis on where you came from? You yourself.
like in relation to religion, or what do you mean?
No, we're not talking religion. We're talking about your origin. How did you get here? Do you think that you are a speck of dust in an ever-expanding universe from a Big Bang, or do you think you might have been created by a creator?
I mean, that is religion, but I personally believe in the Big Bang thingy. Yes.
Okay.
Let's say I believe more in that than the Bible, for example.
How can you prove the Big Bang 13.7 billion years ago, which was just increased to 26.7 billion years? How can you believe in that?
I need to correct him on something. He keeps mentioning religion in the Bible. All he said was a creator,
I caught him on time.
right? He only said
Okay.
creator. He didn't mention Christianity, Bibles, or anything or religion.
What's the creator?
So make
Then?
sure you don't keep straw manning us.
I am not strawmanning. I'm really not trying to do it. I'm trying to do my best here.
Do you have some assumptions in your mind before you came in here about who we are, as far as flat earthers or stationary plane people? Did you have a preconceived notion or an assumption about us?
I do, but I am here to be fully neutral.
But you also said that you believed in a Big Bang, which you cannot
More than the Bible, yes.
which you cannot possibly prove.
Well, I personally can't prove it, obviously, because I'm not some science guy. But I believe we do have some scientific research, at least, in that topic, which
Where?
I couldn't.
May I ask where, when you say we may have some scientific
I
research
mean,
on that topic, can you give us an idea?
Emphasis on
Sure.
me, 'cause-
Sure, you are gonna do basically the source. Where is it? But it's a general knowledge thing, I'd say, and you can probably find tons of studies on Google.
Sure. So if you believe in the Big Bang, then you would lean towards us being a spinning space ball in the vacuum of outer space in an ever expanding universe. Is that?
I mean, the spaceball stuff. That's the debate, I'm gonna call it, about what the Earth is, and the Big Bang is the question of where did we come from. I think we can separate that enough.
I don't think that the Big Bang makes you live on a spinning space ball in the vacuum of outer space. Would you disagree with
I
that?
don't understand how.
I
Even
neither
God
agree nor
can make a
disagree.
spinning Earth. I don't see how religion comes into this. We're not even talking about. Why are we talking about the Big Bang? It has literally nothing to do.
Yeah.
Well, you said that you've seen things that disprove the globe.
Well, no, I didn't say that specifically. I mentioned that I observed there being no people on Google Earth, for example, and I've seen like stuff, like the images in the voice text and stuff like that. Like the content on the server. I've seen this.
Do
So
you
you don't
think
think it's proved it?
Hmm?
You don't think it's disproved the globe?
As I said earlier, I think you just join. I don't know. I said that I don't really believe in either model at the moment, and I only have the role because no one took it away from me yet, I guess. Yeah.
Do you believe that Google would beg the question and assume they live on a ball or a globe?
What do you mean?
Well, when you Google Earth speed around the sun or motion around the sun, you Google it. It says 30 kilometers per second or 66,600 miles per hour. So you Google it. Would you agree when you Google that the speed of the Earth around the sun, and they tell you 30 kilometers per second or 66,600 miles per hour? Would you agree with them?
I mean, we can easily separate that, like if we are spinning around the Earth or not, around the sun, from the shape of the Earth. So yes, I'm not a denier of the solar system, I guess. Like
Okay.
I'm not saying that we don't spin around the sun.
Okay. And a stationary plane would not be able to spin around the sun because that's not in our knowing or belief system. So
True, which is why I said like third time now. It's fine though. That I don't really believe in either model.
how do you enjoy sitting on the fence? A lot of picket fences hurt when you sit on them. Do you enjoy sitting on a fence?
I mean, do you want me to choose one side, even though I don't agree with either of them?
I
That's
would
kind
like
of
I would like for you to defend one side because obviously you came in here for some reason, and I think you can obviously say when you go outside, do you see 8 inch per mile squared drop over distance like you would see on a ball or sphere? Do you see it?
no.
Do you see motion? Do you see the Earth moving?
Um,
I mean,
well,
when you stand outside, do you feel movement?
I don't know.
Okay, so why do you think you are?
I didn't say we are.
Okay,
Yeah.
and if you've never seen 8 inch per mile squared drop over distance, why do you think there might be?
Did you just say that you would feel movement on around?
Sorry, could you repeat the last question? Something about 8-inch drop. I didn't quite get that.
The science tells us that you live on a ball of 3,959 mile diameter times two for
Okay.
diameter times pi to get your circumference of 24,901 miles. That comes out to 8 inch per mile drop over distance that you would experience if you lived on that type of thing. And so you basically said you don't see that when you go outside. Is that correct?
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay, and then you also said that you don't feel the earth moving under your feet. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Then why could you possibly think that you live on a ball?
I don't. As I just said, I don't believe in either model.
Why don't you now? First of all, why do you say model for?
I mean, I don't believe in either theory. I don't believe in either fact. I don't believe in both sides.
Please explain why you would feel movement.
Circular motion is constant acceleration. You always feel acceleration. Okay, back to the other guy. So you said the Big Bang. You believe in that. So guess what? You start.
I believe more in the Big Bang than in the
Don't cut
Bible.
me off. Don't
I'm
cut me
correcting
off.
you.
Ugh. Anyway, Big Bang. So it's all starts in one spot. Boom, blows out, right? It's the Big Bang. Since everything blows away from that center, how did it all come together to form balls and gas balls when it's all blowing away from each other at light speed?
I believe that's not really the topic of this Discord, but I think it's pressure. I'm not really knowledgeable about the Big Bang.
So there's infinite expanding vacuum chamber has pressure in it. Is that what you're saying now? That forms things?
I mean, we don't know if it's infinite. We don't really know, honestly.
Well, okay, so it's a big bang that blows up. It's not infinite. When's it going to stop? And where's the edge?
I don't know.
So it has to have an edge, right?
No. The universe does not have to have an edge.
Oh, then neither does flat Earth. Thank you.
Yes, the Earth needs to have an edge if it's flat, because flat objects.
Sir, you're not going to use one and just use your imagination for one and just say that's okay for one, but not the other.
I think
Exactly, and I debunked that. I pointed
I
out.
think the universe is way more complex than the Earth. But yes,
Trying to say that the
I
Earth is
exposed.
infinite, or what?
I
You don't get
I
it.
exposed your limited view of that.
how?
That you are not considering other possibilities. You admitted that the inside of a snow globe has no edge.
Yes, the
right?
inside,
So
not the outside.
I'm just simply exposing your limited view.
I think it's reasonable to say that if one thing has an edge, another thing doesn't have to have an edge.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
your universe is supposed to have a shockwave, an edge.
I don't know.
An
As I said, I don't
it's
know
an
why I'm
ever-ending-
getting questions
it's
about the
an-
universe now and not about like flat Earth stuff.
It's a never-ending, expanding shockwave.
If you say so.
Well, you call it. It was a big bang.
I believe more in the Big
What
Bang
does
than in the Bible.
bang
That's
mean?
my quote. I think it's like
What does bang mean in
it's an
English?
explosion, I guess. Well, bang
Explode.
isn't really bang. Is just
Yeah,
like
so
a
that's
thing we say, I guess. But
shockwave. Where is it? How far is it?
I never said that it exists or that it is somewhere. That's a strong.
Well, you believe it to exist.
I'm repeating myself. I'm sorry about this, but I believe more in the Big Bang than in the Bible.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
You said you don't. Sorry.
You're just finding out that the Big Bang is not a scientific theory. There is no experiment to prove this theory.
I'm pretty sure it's at least a scientific theory.
No, it's not a
Where?
scientific theory.
Where?
Can I just point out?
Show us an experiment.
Just one moment. One moment. I just want to make it clear for everybody. Just one
Hold
sec.
on, please.
I just want to make it clear that he said he doesn't really understand the Big Bang that well.
Well,
right?
that's also not. Yeah, I'm not here to talk about the Big Bang.
So
I'm
you
here to talk
believe in
about the
something
Earth.
that you don't understand. You don't even know why.
Yeah.
You can't
I'm
even
here to talk about the
articulate as
Earth.
to why it's more probable. You don't even know why it would be more probable because you do not understand it enough to be able
I
to
am
come
more
to
interested
that
in
conclusion.
the Big Bang because I don't agree with the Bible.
Do you
That's the whole
understand
reason.
everything you believe in? Do you understand everything you
Look.
believe in?
That's a false dichotomy. It's not like it's either the Bible or Big Bang. Like,
He is anti-religion.
Religion.
He just slipped out
I
of
am
him.
an atheist, yes.
You're anti-religious. You can't be an atheist and religious.
You also said it was a scientific theory. You got a hypothesis for that?
But the hypothesis is that we started in one point and expanded from there, like the Big Bang, you know?
What? That's not a scientific hypothesis.
Okay, what is it then?
What's the cause and effect relationship you're supposing?
So I'm not a scientist, and I'm not here to talk about it. I've always said that I don't really understand the Big Bang theory.
So that's what I was trying to explain to you, that you are only a fanatic parishioner.
A what?
What?
You are a fanatic parishioner.
Definition, please.
You're a fanatic, and you visit the church a lot.
I do not.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yes, he's arguing from incredulity, right? Here's the thing: he's arguing from incredulity, so that anything else, like because the Bible, no, right? Even though nobody here has really presented that as the actual beginning or creation of reality, he's saying, "I can't believe the Bible. That's too incredible for me to accept. Therefore, anything else anybody puts on the table would be more likely." Even though I don't understand anything about it.
Well, I
do
simply
you
said
do
I
you
believe more
know
in
do
what
you
you
know
believe
the
about.
difference between belief and knowledge and
Uh,
science?
1 second, I'd like to answer the question in the voice text
Yeah,
thingy.
go on.
Can we go from immaterial to material? So I have no idea. So as I said for the third time now, I don't really know stuff about the Big Bang, and I'm not really here to talk about that stuff. So I was just questioned about it for some reason. I'm not sure
Well,
why, but yeah.
you happen to have landed into a server where science is at the top of the pyramid. Here, science is extremely important. So if your theory does not go with scientific method, yeah, if your claims cannot be proven to be real,
Well, what is my theory?
you're
I'm
not
not
talking
sure what we
about
are talking
science.
about. What do
Well,
you think is my theory right
Big
now? I'm just
Bang
making sure.
listen, Big Bang is a religion. Heliocentrism is a religion. It's a religion based on blind beliefs. It's a belief system, blind belief system.
Okay, and when did
You
I say
only
that the Big
listen.
Bang is
You
real
have
and
been
exists and is the
indoctrinated
thing?
with it. You have been indoctrinated with it, and you have never questioned these things that have and ideas and perspectives that have been implanted into your mind. You have
Okay,
no
for
clue
example.
about reality. And you don't know science. You admitted inside here. You told us that you are not a scientist. And
Yeah.
vast majority of people here, they started for at least 5 years that I know that they are studying science.
Okay. And am I not allowed to be here if
And
I'm not a
you are
scientist?
talking with literate people in science. They are not a parishioners of a blind religion.
Okay,
So
I think
what
I know
people
what you
here
mean, but
try to explain to you and to give you the message is exactly this, that we like to defend science and to stick with science, what is scientific. And we will debunk any pseudoscientific kind of religion.
sure.
Yeah. So if you want to learn facts, you are in the best place.
That's
But
good.
if you are if you see, when you say about the globe, you believe you don't know the model,
I
the
I,
heliocentric model,
I
how it works.
Can
You
someone remove
don't know.
my Globe Earth roll, please? Just to make it really obvious.
So what is obvious?
No,
Like
He
it's a
wants his
globe?
globe Earth roll taken off.
Ah.
Guess he's a flat earther.
no, I'm
Everything he
not a
said
flat
so
earther.
far is flat Earth.
I am not agreeing with either thing. That
So you
does
don't
not make
think
me a flat
water is
earther.
flat and level?
Oh god.
Water is flat and level in most cases, yeah, I think.
Well, okay, most cases. So now present the cases where it's not.
Well,
I'm not
no,
talking about
okay.
waves, not
I
waves
would say in
either.
all cases.
Okay, sure, in all
Yeah.
cases.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
Well, as I said, I personally need an edge to see a flat Earth. That's how it is.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Yes, I
Well,
do.
that edge, it doesn't exist, because that infinite vacuum of space, it doesn't exist. And you believe that heliocentric model, that comes from the heliocentric model. We have no clue what the sky is. No man has been into the sky. We have fly at very high altitudes. We have went with balloons at very high altitudes, but we never been. People
Well,
never
okay,
been
let's see this.
higher
How
than an altitude of about 200 or 300 kilometers in
Okay.
altitude.
Do you believe that the maps we have of Earth, that they are accurate?
Listen, have you ever seen a pilot of the American fighter jet SR-71?
No.
Yeah, I recommend you check the suit of those pilots that were flying SR-71s, because
Why?
those airplanes are one of the only airplanes which are flying at the highest altitudes.
Mm-hmm.
So those people were flying where no other man has been.
Okay.
Well, okay.
I don't really get your point here. I don't know.
What about the moon landing, though?
What about it?
You're saying
What moon
you're
landing?
saying no man has been higher than
Listen,
that.
in 1960s, in
Which one of
1969,
all the
yeah,
fakes?
Wait, so the moon landing is faked, right? Is that what you're saying?
Prove it's
Yeah.
legit.
well, in 1969, all the technology we had in television and cinema, yeah, special effects, making movies, faking stuff, we had that kind of technology to fake the moon landing, but we did not have the technology to actually go there. And this is a fact which even NASA's astronaut Don Petit admits officially, and he's actually explaining how NASA destroyed that technology which supposedly took us to the moon. Why did they destroy that technology? Because that technology was one of the most precious technologies of United States.
I have no idea where you just like pulled that out of, but I would just like to say, so if you're saying that back then we had the technology to fake it, I'm sure as hell that in 2023 we'd have the technology to identify that it's a fake.
Have you
I
seen
mean, look at the
movies?
videos.
This
Look,
kid is just,
It
he's just, I think he's just clowning you at this point. He's never
yeah,
seen 2001 A Space Odyssey that was shot a
yeah.
year before the moon landing. And fucking, it looks
I mean,
absolutely what you would think space should look like.
What about it?
You're
which
saying
one?
you're saying no man has been higher than
Listen,
that.
in 1960s, in
Which one of
1969.
all the fakes?
Wait, so the moon landing is faked, right? Is that what you're saying?
Prove it's
Yeah.
legit.
Well, in 1969, all the technology we had in television and cinema, yeah, special effects, making movies, faking stuff, we had that kind of technology to fake the moon landing, but we did not have the technology to actually go there. And this is a fact which even NASA's astronaut Don Pettit admits officially, and he's actually explaining how NASA destroyed that technology which supposedly took us to the moon. Why did they destroy that technology? Because that technology was one of the most precious technologies of United States.
Yeah, I have no idea where you just like pulled that out of, but I would just like to say, so if you're saying that back then we had the technology to fake it, I'm sure as hell that in 2023 we'd have the technology to identify that it's a fake.
Have you seen?
I mean, look at the videos.
This
Look,
kid is just, I think he's just clowning you at this point. He's never seen 2001 A Space Odyssey that was shot a year before the moon landing. And fucking, it looks absolutely what you would think space should look like.
Even the fakes are so dog shit. How can you not see that they're fake? Especially the old ones. They're like comedy films.
I just posted a GIF of the camera just panning back, pulling back, and then panning upward, following it, just like a real good cameraman would do it.
That's not.
Well, listen.
I don't think that's supposed to be real footage, is it? Like, where's the source of the upper thing?
Have
Go to
you,
the website and get the source where we get all of our stuff from. You think we make?
No.
Have you ever looked in?
We make
Okay,
it up?
no. If you claim that the thing in the GIF is real footage that they wanted to use to fake it, then you gotta have a source for it, where it's from, no? Is that reasonable?
What's the source? It's from NASA.
Okay, show me then. Show me where this clip is from. I'm sorry,
it's
but
not really up to us to prove that the moon landings weren't real.
I'm sorry, you're kind of hard to understand. Could you repeat that?
It's not really up to us to prove that the moon landings weren't real.
No.
You guys
It's
are
not
the
up to you to
ones
prove that
claiming
it's
it.
real. It's up to you
Hey,
to show me a source of
finish.
stuff you use to
Let
prove
me
that it's not
finish
real.
my sentence. It's up to you guys who claim you went there to prove that you actually went there.
Okay, but the GIF posted in the live stream voice text has a clip where the camera is like going back and panning out, and that's being used to say that the moon landing is fake, because obviously there wouldn't be a cameraman there. So
do you know where that video?
So where is the clip from the top from? That's what I want to know.
Do you know where that video comes from?
I do not know. That's why I'm asking.
So you don't know anything about the moon landings, but you're saying what we're showing is fake. Is that right?
I'm not saying it's fake. I'm saying where is it from?
Just haven't given a fucking source to it. Like, really.
What year did we go to the moon?
I honestly don't know. I'm bad at history stuff and shit.
You're a fucking clown,
1969.
Okay, does it really matter if I know the year or not? I'm asking where the clip is from.
Because you're claiming you know things about the moon landing, but you
I am not claiming anything. I am asking where the clip is from.
Did we go to the moon or not?
This is the biggest woman I've seen. Oh, thank you.
Did we
Someone
go
posted
to the
link.
moon or not?
Please let me watch this video that just got sent to me.
In your mind, did we go to the moon or not?
Let me see this real quick.
Do you believe that we went to the moon or not?
Wait, okay. So the description of this video literally
Do you believe that we went to the moon or not?
Let me talk, please. Let me talk.
Do
So the
you
description
believe that we
says
went
that
to
it
the
was
moon or
captured by
not?
a television camera. So it would be
Do
reasonable
you
to
believe
assume
that we went
that
to the
such
moon
a
or
camera
not?
could be remote controlled.
Translation: I saw it on TV. It must be true.
Controlled. Oh my God! In 1969, it was remote controlled.
A remote
Yeah, I
control
mean,
Was it
color
remote
remote
camera.
controlled?
control is
Come
Color
easily
on.
doable
remote.
in
Yeah,
1969.
remote
Come on.
control color camera on the moon.
Would you guys mind if I ask a question? Like, okay, it was remote controlled. I'll give you that. But like, have you ever calculated in your own internal head like the transmission rate that would need to exist for like the camera, which is being remote controlled, mind you, to move at the exact same speed of the aircraft that's lifting off from such a remote distance? And they nail it perfectly because remember, there's no one there to adjust the camera and like adjust it later. But yet they nailed it on the first try because remember, they've never been there
Exactly.
before.
Yeah.
Can't you just like
So,
would
but like,
assume
did you
they
digest what I just said?
You
But did
can
you digest what I just
calculate
said to
how
you right
fast
there,
it's
though?
I
gonna
assume
go
they would
up.
have tested on Earth first, obviously. Like
No, they
if
can
But
you
how
just
if you
could?
do
But how
something
could
like
they
this, you would
have?
test it.
How could? But how could they have? Remember, we're talking
What?
about the.
You are
We're
talking
talking
about
about. We're talking about the
transmission, right?
vast.
take for it
We're
to
talking about the vast expanse of space. How could they
No,
have tested it here? It did not exist for them to test it with.
you were saying that
calculate.
you said some technical limitation, right? That something about transmission. I was watching the video. Sorry, I didn't quite listen to it.
Yeah, I was saying
and
the
so
transition from here to the moon. That is different media than
the
what
transition
than
from
what
here to
could
the
ever
moon.
than what could ever exist on Earth. And what we're saying to you is
Yeah.
that if you're
And
trying to say that the remote control was so flawless in their first guess about at what precise time on Earth to transmit over that entire distance, so they hit the camera, so it started recording on time, mind you, and swiveled up at the right time, mind you, and
Do we
nailed it, and then transferred all of that data back to us.
do we know that the
You're
remote
saying,
is on
but
Earth and
I have
not
a
in
question for
the
you. But I have
capsule?
a question. No, but I have a question for you. Do you actually believe that?
They can
Well,
legit just
I'm
like
talking about right now.
transmit the altitude data from the capsule to the camera, then the camera would just follow that. It's not
Sure, but we're talking about the timing. That's the precise part here.
Okay,
The timing.
so you
the
do we
capsule can
have
communicate with the camera, you know? Like that's
does
not
NASA claim that the remote is on Earth while this was controlled, or is the remote maybe in the capsule and the
Yeah,
astronauts are doing it?
but who
capsule,
knows?
the
Who
capsule
knows?
sends a thing
Let's
to the camera.
Hold on a
evaluate.
second.
Can
Hold
one at a time,
on.
please?
Hold
One at a
on.
time.
Listen. You
Yeah.
just said the guy in the capsule that lifted off that's worried about fucking flying is also controlling the camera.
It's not. He's not. It's just
Okay,
automated. Like it's
yeah,
literally
for
nothing.
example.
It's not that complex.
No, it's with a
Okay.
long cable, with a long string cable.
Okay, dude, come
So,
on.
so,
We're trying to seriously.
you're saying so you're saying they spent
back in
they
World War
spent
II.
they
Stop
spent
pretending
billions
like
for
it's
they
all
spent billions for some guy to, mind you, the aircraft has to have landed exactly what they put the camera, and they have one guy sitting right by the window with like a little remote control
Do you
as
know?
the spaceship is taking off, and all these procedures need to be followed so you make it back
Okay,
home alive.
okay. You are
They're
saying
nailing
it's
it.
never said that. I literally never.
what
What
you
if
are
What will
basically
get back
saying.
for you, cameraman?
What if he
Okay, let
mistimed
me.
it?
Can I talk?
Even
What
from
you're
the
basically
spacecraft.
saying is that it's extremely complex to line it all up and time it and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
Did I get it
Yeah, it's
correct?
extremely complex.
Okay,
first time
Exactly. I
without
agree.
practicing.
now, it's extremely complex. That's true, and it's a masterwork if it happened and stuff and all. And you can
JCM,
test
do you know the
stuff like
technology?
this on Earth.
Do you know the technology they had?
How could
Do you know
you?
the technology they had
You
back
can
in
do the
can you
math
1969?
tell?
behind it.
The math.
Okay,
Oh,
one
so
at a
everything is
time.
math. Okay, got it.
Yes, everything is
direct.
math. Exactly.
One
Okay,
second.
I
Hey,
hear you.
No, not
JCM.
everything is not math.
Everything in
No,
this
Reality
I
context
know
is
it's
is not
math.
not. I know it's
math.
not. But in his head it is. So I'll let him have it. Like if that's where
Okay,
he wants
sure.
to stay with it, you know, I'm not going to argue with him on that point.
Okay, cool.
But remember, he's
But
living in
math
a
not
life of
everything on
mathematical
earth.
calculations that can't be perceived by anyone's mind in
In this
reality.
context.
So it's like this is a subcategory of debate than what exists within our own human senses. He's trying to use something that cannot be perceived as opposed to using our own perception. Just thinking about when we have our own dropped call with our own 2023 cell phone. For Wi-Fi breaks when I'm playing my speaker.
No,
You're telling me
I
they nailed it
found
to the
out they
moon
did it.
flawlessly with that remote technology. Back when? I'm not buying it.
I just found out how
I'm
they
not
did it.
buying it.
With vacuum tubes.
Vagabond, I know people when they let their
They calculated
imagination, they call it
the
imagination, but it's not
trajectory of the lunar
imagination.
module,
It's
and they
actually
timed the
hallucination.
commands to the takeoff, so they knew exactly where the camera should be at what point of time, and they just sent those commands to the camera.
With quick reacting vacuum tubes.
Okay, that's really simple.
Radio.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I guess it's possible for you. Good, yeah.
No, they added the lead time of the delay in the vacuum tubes to all that calculation for each vacuum tube that they use.
Yo, these are some mathematicians out here, bro. Like, holy shit!
Yes, NASA has a lot of
I'm so mad
mathematicians.
I'm so mad that I'm such a feeble-minded, retarded human visual that
Pretending
has
like
never learned math at all. You know what I mean? Like,
couldn't
I'm
figure
so
out
mad
how
I've
to
wasted
time
my
the
life.
camera with a fucking takeoff.
I have a question for GMC, please.
JCMS. Just call me Simon, please. Just Simon. It's fine.
JCMS.
Simon, yes.
So, if I make a tent out of kitchen foil, yeah, and
Okay.
inside I have 1 atmosphere air pressure, and outside of it I have a negative pressure of 10 to the minus 17 torr. How can that tin foil withstand that much pressure differential?
I don't know.
But that's a big
Well,
deal, isn't
explain
it?
to me, because that the lunar
Just
module
math. It's just
was
math.
made
I
of
didn't say it's just math.
kitchen foil.
As I said, I don't know.
But like, do you not take that
I'm
as
the
a
wrong
big
person to
deal
ask.
that you don't know? But I'm saying, my
I'm
follow-up
not really
question to that.
interested in some atmosphere stuff.
That wasn't my question. That was my question. I was
His
asking
question
you.
was it? Yeah.
My question to you was, does that bother you that you don't know?
In this case, no.
Okay.
No. So you are a ignorant. Yeah, you fulfill
In this case,
exactly my
yes.
words that I told about you. I told you that you are a fanatic parishioner, like you just follow
I don't know
blindly
what that means.
your church,
I'm gonna
and
look what that means.
you don't accept anything scientific. You don't know what science is actually
If
at
you show me
all.
something that is backed by science, I'm gonna believe it.
You heard it.
What's
You
backed
heard
by
that
science?
word. But do you know
Sorry.
the scientific method?
What's backed by
Something, make a
science?
theory, test it, and then observe and make a conclusion. Something like that.
Where is your experiment?
For,
The
for
test.
what? For what exactly?
Jesus Christ.
Experiment for what exactly? What are we talking about right now?
For that moon medium, like
Just
demonstrate
talk in
to
normal
us,
words, man.
listen,
Moon medium. What
demonstrate
the
to
fuck?
us a direct violation of the second law of thermodynamics.
Where's your scientific proof of the globe?
You have to prove that medium, yeah, which they claim that the NASA astronauts went on the moon and there is no air there. No, it is a 10 to the minus 17 torr air pressure. That's a extremely low differential. And how can that be adjacent to Earth's air that we breathe without, the air leaving and fill uniformly this ever expanding imaginary universe? And actually, the word universe is a fallacy in itself because the world is not one verse. It cannot be contained into one word.
I'm not sure where you're going with this, but okay, sure.
Well, the world is so much more complex. There are three types of complexity.
This guy. Okay.
And do you know what?
JC. Oh, sorry.
Do you know
One
what?
Go ahead.
is digital.
One by one, please.
Okay,
Go
you
ahead.
said
Sorry.
it's complicated. Do you know what is simple?
Simple
Basic math is
geometry.
simple.
Yeah, that's simple.
For example.
Basic math. For example, geometry.
Yeah.
Geometry is simple in some cases. Like there's advanced stuff which I wouldn't know how to
For
do,
example,
but yeah.
Does any sphere has drop over distance?
That's what?
Does
Yes.
every sphere? Yes.
As
Okay,
far as
that's all.
as far as I've heard from this voice chat and this
No,
Discord, yes.
as far as I know, like a mathematician, every
Sure.
sphere has. Yeah.
Sure, I'm not a mathematician. I don't know. I'm just, you know.
Okay,
But
well,
you can take any sphere in a hand, and you will even feel it. That.
okay, well, let me build on the point that JC made. So basically, JC, you said you're not a mathematician, right? Neither am I.
I wouldn't classify myself as that. Yeah.
Neither would I. Yeah,
I can do some
I
basic
studied math.
but that's
I
it.
studied math, and I was decent at math, but I am not a mathematician. Now, have you ever been on a flight before? A plane
I
to
haven't.
somewhere
I
distant?
actually haven't.
You've never been on a plane. Okay, well, let me try to
I'm way too
describe
poor
that.
for that.
So this is one of the things that helped me crack it in my own mind for myself. So I
Crack
used to
what?
have to work in London, but I lived in New York, right? So I had to go
Okay.
back and forth a lot of
Oh,
times, right?
that's a
Now,
hassle. Yeah.
it's a little exactly. It's a little bit of a hassle, right? So think
bit.
about the stress of doing it over and over. Now,
Like
when I thought about the whole flat Earth thing, I was like, all right, well, the Earth is curved, and I got to go somewhat around the ball to get to London, or I think even further, like New York to China, or New York to like
I mean, let's
Japan,
stay with the example
right?
that you
Yeah,
actually had.
yeah, I know. But let me just, but I just want to paint the image of doing it all the way as when I bring it to a smaller dimension. So, what are the two times where you are not served any drinks?
I don't know. I haven't flown.
Oh, you haven't flown before. Okay, so when you fly,
I have no
there's
idea.
there's takeoff.
Oh, probably
right?
takeoff and landing. I
Takeoff and landing. Exactly. You see, even if you've never flown, logically when they wouldn't start. But like, does it
I
make
could
sense to
imagine
you?
that
They
being
would.
some solution, but yeah.
Yeah, but does it make sense to you that they wouldn't give you like a hot coffee that could potentially spill in your lap when the plane is
It would be a
pointed
smart idea.
upward?
Yeah.
It would be smart. You know what I mean? It would be smart. Now, what happens is when the plane levels off, what happens is the light goes off at the top, but the stewardess comes through the aisle with the beverages. Because remember, the plane is level, steady, smooth. That's when they serve the drinks. Now, because I like a Tanqueray tonic and I like the drink, I always had a drink in my hand the entire flight.
Mhm.
The entire flight, I had a drink in my hand. And what I'm trying to tell you is because water always finds its level, or any liquid finds its level. And remember, they call construction levels spirit levels because alcohol is more like, it's more slippery, more viscous. It's lighter,
Has
it
a
moves
low
faster.
viscosity.
It's
Yeah.
not as like slow as water. Alcohol moves faster in the bubble. That's why they use it. When I
Smoother,
had the
yeah.
alcohol in my cup, what I'm trying to tell you is when I put it on my tray table for 6 hours, it never spills. When I hold it in my hand during the flight, it never spills. That means even though I don't know what's going on with the plane or the earth or anything else, I know the liquid in my cup remained perfectly level the
Sure, yes.
entire time. Even if I was going to China, it would still never spill.
I mean,
The
turbulence,
reason
but
it,
yes.
yeah, turbulence, yeah, of course. Given turbulence, that's of course a factor, but we're not talking about turbulence. We're just talking about plane level flight. Now, if the liquid in the cup never spills, we know for a fact this cup was not tilted because remember I could tilt it with my hand and spill it over if I want to. So the water can be spilled, but my hand almost becomes like one of those like gyroscopic arms that hold the cameras to keep them steady when they, you know what I mean? A gimbal,
Yes,
exactly. A
when you
gimbal.
are flying actually on above a sphere, your down vector is in continuous change.
Yes, exactly. Do you understand what that means, though? Do you understand what that means?
I see what you're getting at, but
Yes.
Well, you see, what you would say that the liquid is having getting influenced by gravity, right?
I don't believe so. I believe the liquid is doing. I believe the liquid is doing exactly what it's doing. You
Yeah, that's true.
understand?
But I mean,
But
yes,
what I'm
but the
trying to
question
say,
is why it's doing what it's doing.
what I'm trying to say, if you took your own eye and you put it to the level of the water, and then you line that up with the level of the sea, what you would realize is actually happening is the plane is cutting a bullet straight line across the water. Because the level of the sea and the level of the liquid in my cup, if I just looked out the window and lined them up, it'll never break.
Mm-hmm.
So that means I and the plane and my cup have stayed perfectly level against the earth that the plane would have to have dipped somewhere somehow and tilted my cup if it was going
Not
around
with
anything.
the gravity that exists in the globe Earth model.
Yeah, that's what's typically said, but it's like,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that the rate at which that we'd be flying against the earth, like when you start to take like the numbers and plug them back in, what happens is the amount of dive, given the speed we're going at, would be so great. Number one, the liquid would have flown out my cup like I'm on a merry-go-round that's being spun at 600 miles an hour.
So
The
you
liquid
believe
would.
that? Wait 1 second. So basically, what you're saying is that if the Earth was a globe and you
Mhm.
were on the bottom, you would be upside down and liquid would flow down into the.
Say that again.
atmosphere.
Would you say that again?
So
If I was on the
assume
bottom of what?
if the Earth was a globe and you were on the
Mhm.
bottom of it, since it's like 360 degrees,
Yes.
you believe that the liquid would float down?
No. That's not my argument. Thank you for clarifying.
Oh, okay.
My argument is that let's imagine we're on the top of the globe, right? And we've established like let's imagine all of us are at the top of the globe at every time. People on the bottom of the globe, side of the globe, everyone's at the top for
So
themselves.
basically, there is no top, right?
There is no top. Exactly. Everyone's at the top, right? Given gravity, the idea of gravity. But it's a fact that the plane must dip its nose, because if the liquid in my cup and the plane's trajectory, I can see carve a perfectly straight line. The curvature of the earth and the straight line that the plane is cut in, given the level of my cup, must diverge from each other. Or
Yeah,
else
in the globe model,
either the
every plane
earth would
flight.
meet my cup or the cup would meet the earth. One has to meet each other or we can't be on a ball.
Vagabond, I think what you're trying to say is that in the globe model, every plane flight is actually an orbit
Yes.
around the globe.
Exactly, yes. Exactly. Well
Yeah.
said.
I mean, yes.
And orbit means to spin around a center.
At least the path,
Exactly.
yeah. And the path,
And
the center would be the
Okay.
what's it called?
So here's where I'm going to try to complicate this example for you. This is the part that makes it a little more mentally jarring for you. So like let's imagine the pilot has to fly through a thunderstorm now. Autopilot's off. The speed that he chooses to take to cut through turbulence is on him. Now,
Probably
given that
automated somehow.
like he's no longer just like smooth sailing and like it might get a little bumpy, trying to figure out at what speed the liquid would go up. Because remember, like, let's say
Why would it go up?
Because like if I put something in a centrifuge, right, and it's spinning outward, it always goes to its outward limits because the speed or the pressure of the centrifuge is pushing it outwardly.
Yeah, but in the centrifuge there is no gravity. Like not there is
In the
gravity, but
gravity?
the gravity
No, we're
is
not
not
talking
oriented
about
to towards the
I'm
center
not
of the
speaking about
centrifuge.
I'm not speaking about gravity. I'm just speaking about the
Yeah, but
speed of the centrifuge.
it's all like connected together, you know.
I know. But like, so this is the part
we can't really ignore gravity in this case. That's not possible.
we don't have to ignore it. I haven't even brought it up. So what I'm trying to say is the speed of the centrifuge, should you start to put the numbers back into account, and then you take a look at the distances, and then like, the rate of drop, as well as, remember, if you have a construction background, let's say, for example, over 8 miles or 16 miles or 32 miles or 50 miles, there's a certain amount of drop. It's a certain physical distance. You know what I mean? So even though you're not, even though, but I'm just trying to tell you, if you were to go back and put the numbers in, what you'd realize, given a certain speed of the plane and the physical distance at the drop, the force that would have to generate would be, I believe, given the fact that I ride motorcycles, I drive cars extremely fast, and I know what 150 feels like, right? So it's like I'm like, all right, and they're going 600 over you know what I mean? Such a tight distance. I was like, yeah, they'd be pulling way high up. But
okay, I
I
see what you
can't.
mean.
I don't know how to explain that to you.
I think
know
I
what I
see
mean?
what you mean.
The force of the
So,
plane moving
okay,
that fast and having to
let me try to
curve that
recap this.
aggressively.
If I understood it right or not.
Look,
You are comparing. No,
JCM.
please let me talk. You are comparing a flight, specifically right now, from what was it, London and New York, to a centrifuge, where
yes,
if the thing flies, like let's say it's a container with liquid in the centrifuge, the liquid would go away from the centrifuge.
I'm making two. Yes, you are right. I'm making two.
Okay.
I'm making. Well, let me finish. I'm making 2 points.
Sure.
I'm saying the brake from the x-axis positively up or positively down. Of course, the plane should be going down if it's going around a curve. I'm saying the liquid in your cup that is not breaking off the x-axis. That's my first point. The second point is I'm saying, should you put in the amounts of speed and distance of traveling over a curve, given the proportions that were given, there should be some upward pressure. But it's mitigated. It doesn't exist.
The liquid should be thrown out of the glass towards the top, basically.
JCM,
No,
one moment.
Let me please finish this.
But the point is, I'm making there is no upward pressure. You don't feel pulled up out of your seat in the plane at all.
You are saying it should do it if it's around Earth, right?
No, I'm saying just the speed. Just the speed.
I just want to make a baseline of what you agree on.
I'm saying they should be strapping people down in planes, not just like against your shoulder.
Because if they are not doing it on a theoretical globe Earth, they would be flying upwards into the ceiling of the plane. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. No. Get the bet, please. I want to
let him finish. Let him finish, and then I'll stop talking. I promise.
This guy. Okay. So the difference with the plane and the centrifuge, for example, is that in the centrifuge is like spinning around, but the gravity of the Earth is pulling down and not to the center of the centrifuge. Okay. And in the plane, it is pulling down the gravity.
Yeah, but in the centrifuge example, we have to know what type of, like, are we looking at a centrifuge that has cylinders, or is it like flat? Like, you have to describe.
We didn't. It doesn't matter. The gravity
I'm picturing
always
like
pulls down.
I'm picturing a cylindrical centrifuge, like.
Vagabond, you're talking about escape velocity.
Yes, that's what I want to say. Thank you, brother. I appreciate. I don't know that term, but escape velocity. That's what it is. Yes. Thank you.
Understand, commercial airplanes, they don't fly with very high speed. It is high for us, ordinary people.
It's relatively high, of course.
In the military, technology
that's a better example.
Capabilities. Commercial airplane speeds is very slow. Wait.
Slow. In the military, pilots are strapped down.
Listen, do you know what the escape velocity
I wouldn't know the number, no.
Okay, so there are cannons, like in USA, the electromagnetic gun.
It's like a ray gun?
No, it's an electromagnetic gun.
I do not know what it is.
It's called a rail. It's called a rail gun.
Rail
RAIL. Rail gun.
Yeah, it's a rail gun which shoots projectiles with the speed of Mach 7.
Sure.
That is the 7 times of the speed of sound. Now, that is actually a escape velocity, way much above escape velocity. And the problem is, when that gun is firing straight line, 100 kilometers targets in a straight line.
Has that been tested before? Has that been tested that it's going
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
is
this
that
is
amount?
military technology in USA. It has been
Yeah,
tested.
sure, but like to that amount,
Shown,
you said how much?
trained.
Like
We
hundreds of
have
kilometers is
technical
what you said?
details. Sorry?
Yeah, I think you said it's going for hundreds of kilometers, no? Is that what you said?
It can shoot in
Okay,
straight line at
yes, but
100 kilometers
you also
far away.
claimed how far it can go. I don't quite remember the value, but you claimed
How do
a
you
number
hear?
of
How
how
do you
far it
hear
can
him
go.
talking when you keep talking over him?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Anyways, you
I'm going to
claimed.
mute you until he's done talking from now on. If you don't stop talking while he's talking,
Can I at least?
So that railgun
Okay, I
is
guess.
shooting aluminum projectiles with Mach 7. The kinetic energy of that projectile is way much higher than the escape velocity. And when you actually reach escape velocity in your heliocentric model, that means that all these objects which are flying with these speeds, they are going in an upwards trajectory towards the sky. So they will not fly parallel with the ground. They would always go towards the sky. Now the problem is this railgun is a toy in comparison with what the Russians have. The Russians have recently shot NATO tanks and weapons in Ukraine systems, with Kinzhal missiles. Now these missiles are flying with Mach 10 and Mach 12. They can reach up to Mach 12. 12 times the speed of sound. That's like 15,000 kilometers an hour, approximately.
Okay.
Now, the Russians, they have also the Zircon missiles. These rocket missiles, they are tactical weapons indeed, but they fly with Mach 18, so 18 times the speed of sound. Though in 2010, the Russian tested the Sarmat 500, the biggest weapon in the world, and that rocket is flying with Mach 20. Mach 20 in physics is not just fast.
Sure.
In reality, Mach 20 is the speed limit barrier. This speed is actually encountered by us only in the explosions of so-called nuclear bombs. The shock wave of those explosions is propagating with Mach 20. So the most powerful explosions, they generate this kind of speed. Now this kind of speed is so fast that any material that we take, all metals, all ceramics, whatever, you name it, material very highly resistant to temperature, to friction, to whatever. When it's flying in the air with that speed, it will melt and disintegrate because of the friction with the air. Even tungsten reaches the temperatures of melting point.
So are we getting the flat Earth here or not?
3,200 or 400 degrees Celsius. I
I've
don't
honestly
know
lost track of this
if
point
you
like 10
really
minutes
know
ago.
what kind of
Yeah,
temperature
what's
is
your
that.
point, Get to it, please.
Like, this is
With
a really long tangent. I don't know.
these this rocket, yeah, they fired it, and it's flying parallel across the world.
There you go.
Yeah, from USA, it went all around the world, over all the continents in the world. And they fired it in 2010, and in 2012 or 13, it flown continuously for almost 3 years. And in 2013, it has been detonated in Russia in mid-flight above the city Chelyabinsk.
Are you
So
saying,
they
did I
treat
get it
this
right
as
that there's a
destruction.
rocket going around the Earth for multiple years and now it was blown up?
JCMC, he's telling you about one weapon which can reach the long distance. But
Yes.
I can tell you this question: which weapon is accounting on the curvature of the Earth? You can name it one, you know.
None of them.
Yeah, he can name it one. Now he's telling you about one weapon. This is new modern weapon, and he can reach the long distances. But my question is, which one it's if that one it's using the straight line? Which one it's that one who it's accounting on curvature or Coriolis effect? Doesn't matter. Both. Also,
I'm not
yeah.
into weapons. I don't know.
No on them. There is no weapon.
I mean, I can take that claim as a fact, but I don't know.
That will tell you every military, everyone who was in military.
Sure. As I said, I don't know. So
you was not in military.
I mean, you could. I mean, this is where I gotta go like source, I guess, because it's a claim as long as you don't have a source for it, I guess. You know.
I'm asking you was in military?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Why do people assume I'm doing like tons of random shit?
No, I was in military.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. I'm just pointing it out.
It was my like a duty. I don't know. Even I didn't want. Yeah,
like
blah, blah, blah.
mandatory stuff. I get it.
Yeah.
Where are you from actually?
Yeah, that was about weapon, but the story is always the surface. You know, about airplane, it's more even maybe more boring because you know you have the airplane, but down you have the surface, and with airplane it's a little bit difficult. It could be curved, it could be flat. You know.
Well, that's what I said like ages ago that I don't
Yeah,
believe in even
but
more.
yeah, I posted also. I posted also military airplane. You know, he's flying like 1 Mach above the sea level. You know.
This video. The pilot don't need to dipping down the plane nose to follow the Earth's curvature. I mean, yeah, that's like if I'm arguing for the globe Earth view, yes, that's because of gravity.
Okay, great. Do you know what's gravity?
Gravity, I don't know exact stuff, but I know that gravity is a force that happens due to large
no,
mass.
It's not. It is not. It is not.
An attraction or something.
It is not. Look, you made a mistake in the first place.
What is it then?
First of all, I don't know what it is because I cannot tell you for something what is never ever. I cannot tell you what is. I can tell you what is unicorn, you know, but I will never can show you unicorn or whatever. You know, unicorn has that, you know, horn, and you know, and then when you can tell me, can you show me unicorn? No, but I can describe you. Unicorn has the horn and look like a horse. You know, you cannot find him in reality, but it could be that it's real.
Well,
it's the same with it's the same with the gravity. You said now that it's a force, but it is not.
I mean, that's just like this is just me saying yes, it's a force, and you're saying no, that's wrong, and that's
no,
it. Like, that's not an argument.
Okay. You want more? That
well,
was.
I want actual arguments or facts behind them. Yes.
Okay,
Oh
that
my
was
God.
the arguments is this: the Einstein was the guy who said the
JCMS needs to define gravity so we know what he's talking
I want
about.
to help. I want to help him. Also. He said he wants facts. The Einstein said 1916 that that gravity is not a force, and we from that year we are taking that gravity like no force.
So let me look up the quote. So know what he said. argued that gravity isn't a force at all. He's described it as a curvature of time and space caused by mass and energy. That's what Einstein said.
Yeah, how can you curve a concept?
I don't know, as Einstein, man. I mean, I'm not that smart.
Space and time are concepts. Do you think
we as humanity have like constructs where people can figure stuff out, like Einstein, and use that as a fact later on.
Well,
No,
can you tell me what is time?
Wait. You cannot figure out nothing. You can figure out, make experiment, and if he's matching, then you figure out properly.
I mean,
but you
I
cannot
assume people tested Einstein's theories and stuff.
No, they didn't.
Go ahead, now go ahead.
Well,
now go
let's
ahead
see.
and define gravity for us.
Listing Einstein's theory of whatever.
Yeah, theory. No, experiment. Why a theory?
Define that gravity for us.
No. Wait. Please let me look up. 1 second, please. For example, there's a Wikipedia page about tests of general relativity, which is like a different thing. But I assume there's also stuff about his other his other what would you call it?
Please define gravity.
Bro, did you really just?
Bro isn't the definition of gravity, as far as I know. Please define it.
And neither is Wikipedia.
That shit is funny, man.
And what that gravity is doing?
First we need it defined. Step 1, define it.
Gravity pulls down objects towards, or not down, pulls objects towards large mass.
That's not what it does. That's not what it is. What is it?
As Einstein said, it's some stuff like warping space-time, whatever.
Some stuff like wobbling space-time, whatever. Are you happy with that, Radwin?
I'm not
No,
Einstein.
Einstein didn't say gravity is warping space. Einstein said
meaning to
mass
reference Einstein's
is
quote here.
Space-time.
Yeah, and that definition covering what role? That definition covering what? Now, what gravity is doing?
I was asked for the definition of gravity. I explained its effects, which is not the same thing. And then I said that Einstein's quote.
I'm asking now, what is doing?
Is there like English dictionary?
Large mass.
For example,
that's what it's doing.
If I telling you there is a boiling water, is that something's doing?
Well, yeah, the water is boiling then, yes.
The water is boiling.
Okay, we have. Do you know what is water? You know what is boiled water? What is gravity? You said what gravity is doing now.
If you want the definition of gravity or what it is, like what
wind is doing?
Wind is mostly moving stuff.
Did you define gravity for me? We're gonna run this back real quick. Everybody stop for a second. Stop.
Go ahead.
Sure thing, man.
Man, did you define gravity yet?
I didn't, but I can reference the definition of Einstein.
I don't want to hear about concepts.
Why not? What do you mean concept?
It's a fucking concept.
Well, yes, everything is a concept in science, no?
No.
Everything is a theory in science, because you can't really prove it 100%. There's always a possibility of it being something else. There's like a 99%, you know?
Can I tell you, in science, everything what follows scientific method is science.
Yes.
Everything out of that, it's not science. Yeah. That.
So we're still
science. That means Einstein, it's pseudoscience.
So we're still waiting on the definition of gravity. Still haven't got it. We can't go anywhere until
when it's going on 99%.
Well, then we can't continue this specific discussion and have to move on to something else, I guess.
Yes, we can do. Even let's say that you think that you gave the definition. I want to know what is now the role of that thing called gravity. What's gravity is doing?
Sasha, we still haven't got the definition even.
Yeah, but I want to know what he's thinking. That things what is not proven doesn't matter. He's believing what he's doing.
I want him to say, I can't find a definition for gravity.
Well, as I just said, I'm willing to move on to something else, I guess, because if you don't accept the definition by Einstein, then I cannot define it for you because I'm not that smart.
So trampoline with balls rolling around on it is space-time. That's what you think is happening.
Did I say that? At any point?
That's the
Did I
example
even
of
talk about
space-time given
space-time?
to us. That's the example of space-time given to us.
I've given you no example of space-time. I've said Einstein defined gravity, and I'm not doing it because I'm not smart enough for that. That's what I said.
Your priests that preach this stuff said that what I posted, that's an example of
Priest?
space-time. Yeah.
Who's my priest then? I don't quite get what about.
The Discovery Channel, the History Channel, CNN, any kind of media that just tells you how things are. That's your priest.
Okay, if you say so. I mean, I'm not even American, so I don't watch those channels, for example. But yeah.
In this case, it's quite literally Einstein because you said you're not smart enough and he knows better, so it's your priest.
Sure, I guess. Okay, that's like me asking you. Let me think of something. We all agree that the.
No. We are not
I don't
agreeing.
have an example. Whatever. I know what I mean, and that's not for me.
So you don't know what gravity is, then?
I cannot prove it to you in a way that you would agree to it. Yes.
I didn't even ask you to prove it yet. I just asked you what it is, and you said I'm not.
Do you know what it is?
I personally am not smart enough to prove what it is, which is why we can use the cool thing we humans can do, which is called communication across like generations and stuff.
You know
and use
what
other people's
it
shit.
is. Do you know what it is?
By that definition, then no.
Okay, then why would you claim it then?
Why would you
Because
say
that's
that
not
that makes a plane go around a ball then? If you don't know what it is, you can't define it, and you just think it's a concept.
Because I believe.
Because
I believe.
I
believe. Believe. I believe.
Oh. Oh, I thought he was going to go on. Because I believe, sure, in us humans using stuff like communication across ages and across generations to build knowledge and stuff.
with this Discord, honestly.
You can continue to believe.
Sure, I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's all right. But I will tell you about another thing. In the beginning, I told you, geometry, drop over distance. You can believe that sea level is curving, but that's your belief. Nobody can.
We were talking about gravity right now, not about
of
global
course. But do you know what gravity is doing?
Hold on, Geppy,
I thought he
I
wasn't
want to straighten
religious.
him out real quick.
I will tell you. I will tell you.
He just said stop. He just said planes go around the ball, but then he said, "Well, we talk about drop over water." Well, I don't want to talk about that, but I want to talk about how planes go around the ball because of gravity.
I never said all of that.
Contradicted yourself.
I never said any of that. I never said the planes go around the ball. That just didn't happen. Isn't that the definition of a straw man?
He believes it.
So there's nobody in this room right now who thinks that planes go around the ball?
Well, now that you're asking, as I said before,
do you?
I don't believe in either model at the moment, which because of that, I can't say that I believe in a plane going around a ball.
You said either model?
Yes, I don't believe in either at the moment.
There is no model for the flat
It's not a model.
Yeah, good thing.
Then I don't believe in either theory.
Well, good thing we're not talking about
there
theory.
is no theory. There is no theory about that.
Okay, let me be really specific. I'm not believing in the globe Earth, and I'm not believing in the flat Earth.
Do you believe in water?
Sure.
Okay, then believe in water, how water behave, and you will be okay.
Well, you can do that, but I'm doing my thing.
I'm doing also. I believe nature. I believe water. Water is my best friend. You can, for example, you can tell about water whatever you want. I will not believe you. I will believe water.
Water is wet. Do you agree? Oh, actually, that's a
Yeah,
bad
water is
question.
wet. That's correct. And
Well,
water
that's
six,
fact.
Is water wet?
water six level. Is
Yeah.
that correct? Is that correct?
Relative to theory gravity, yes.
Relative
Why
to
aren't you
gravity,
looking
no.
for things that you can know? Like Sasha's talking about something you can know. Why aren't you seeking things that you can have knowledge of? Why are you just looking at things as if it's a belief? As if it's a belief.
Because I can use knowledge from other people across generations.
Good.
To form beliefs? Form beliefs?
Sure.
Take knowledge from mariners and navigators. You know, take knowledge and learn what is elevation angles. All the Columbus, you know, how was navigating all these centuries, you know. Learn that.
Something, sun, something, I don't know.
Yeah, something sun and horizontal plane, you know, and sextant and elevation angles, something, you know,
Okay,
angles.
but didn't he also end up in the wrong place?
Angles, you know, angles. Can you get
Didn't he-
angles from the curve? Can you get
Okay, but-
angles from the curve line?
Okay,
Can you get
but the thing is, Columbus ended up in the wrong place, no?
Well, listen, for the centuries that was navigating across the oceans, 200, 300, 400 years ago, using that elevation angles, you know, angles has no curved line. That's so pity, so sad, so incredible.
What?
But yeah, let's
I love-
use not.
I love all of you people.
Well, it's all right.
It's not about following. You are in
I said
a
love, not follow.
problematic position.
What's problematic about my
you-
position?
Yeah, you speak about. You said I don't believe any of the models. You don't know that flat Earth is not a model, and only the heliocentric model
Which is
a
why
model.
I went, I got more specific and said I don't believe in flat Earth or globe Earth.
What I
No matter
was
what it is.
telling you, I haven't finished. So what I was telling you is, like 20 minutes ago, I was telling you that flat Earth is about science, knowledge, and science. You know, when you say the word belief in science, it's just like you would say the word blasphemy in a religion.
Okay.
So belief, when you say I do not believe, yeah, when we talk about science, you
Okay,
are
what do you want me
actually
to say then instead of belief?
you know, because
What
science
word should I
is
use?
not a belief system. Science is a system of facts.
Okay, so what word should I use to disagree with those facts? If you define it like that.
Well, geometry, for example, is factual.
It's math.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's not math. Geometry
Yes, it's
is
math.
not math.
Geometry
No.
is math. Yes.
Geometry is about the shapes of things.
It's a math also. It's okay.
It belongs in mathematics, but geometry itself is not mathematics.
That makes sense. Yeah. Anyways.
It's a mathematical language.
Can I try even more simple?
Shape.
GC, if I measure 10 miles straight, can I say this is 10 miles straight flat?
If your tool is accurate, I guess yes.
Okay. If I have a sphere, can I have a 10 miles flat straight?
Oh, you said flat. Okay. Well, wasn't it actually tested by some guy with some way too expensive thingy?
What is your profession?
See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.